Good morning everyone. Today in this video we will fight against the atmosphere character of our world around us, as we do in every video of this channel, and today we will talk about specific phenomenon of last decades. I mean the decades especially after Second World War, since late 40s, early 50s. What happened? Uh, the nice summary of this what happened then and is happening now was given. I don't remember exactly this interview between journalist and Mr. Werner von Braun, the genius physicist and engineer constructor of V1 V2 rockets. Just this interview he had with the journalist, and during this meeting Mr. Werner von Braun said he was then already a citizen of US and was working for US government agencies. So this interview had to take place before his death in 1977, at least officially dead at the age of 65. And he said to the journalist, uh, asking Mr. von Braun about the future, what will be the future line of the politics of the most powerful country and its allies. So in those days, Nest and NATO, he said something like this, Mr. Werner von Braun. First enemy will be Russians. Second enemy will be from the third world country. And actually it was so-called terrorism and all of these things we had in the early 2000s till now. Suddenly all is quiet. And he said that after the enemy from the third war, actually there was one very famous uh, with the surname Laden. Most likely he didn't exist in my opinion, and many others, but suddenly now it's we hear nothing about it. And he said that the third enemy will be guests from space, so UFO. So now we see some claims from media that suddenly there is some information that was kept secret in many years to be revealed about the contacts with different creatures from different planets or universes and so on. So we see that this plan is realized, but there is one exception, because Mr. von Braun was a great engineer and physicist, but he was not a biologist. So in between the enemies, just to keep people intimidated and keep people always scared and obedient to the power, because this is the main purpose, just in between the enemies from the third world, like Mr. Laden and others, and UFO, current political and business elites, so politicians and great corporations, inserted another invisible great enemy to intimidate people and make people more obedient towards their orders. Microbes, viruses, Chinese friend, monkey, and many others. Yeah, plans sometimes with time get modified, but the main core of the idea presented by Mr. Werner von Braun, which is keep people in fear, keep them intimidated, is still under constant realization. Only the factors or objects we as people should fear all the time sometimes change. So we see initially it was going according to the plan presented by Mr. Werner von Braun in the conversation with the journalist. So Russians / Soviets, I should say, but he said Russians. Someone from the third world, so terrorism, and before UFO, which is now slowly being announced in media, microbes were inserted because people became more and more aware and less prone to be scared with old toys in quotation, like Russians and someone from the third world, so terrorists. So thanks to the recent development in biotechnology, companies that collaborate strictly with governments introduced new great invisible enemy we should all fear a lot. So we see that it's all about intimidating people and keeping them under constant pressure of fear, because fear reduces our cognitive capabilities, and many people are not able to distinguish stupid propaganda from reality. That's why we should all think, stick to the facts, and analyze them, and just protest to stop governments from doing this bad stuff to us. Once we survive these times, there will be a lot of great material for historians to work on to separate lies and propaganda from the true. It will be very fascinating work to investigate these decades that happened from the times of Second World War till now. Very good work will be done, and very nice books and analysis will be written. But first, to reach this moment and have pleasures with reading this analysis and commemorating these times, we need to survive this crazy, I think, 1 decade that it's really coming. It's not easy, but thanks to keeping together, sticking to the facts, being aware, and being always ready to protest, we can make it. I wish you all the best. Have a nice day. Take care.